Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Changing Room Thoughts. Happy Monday for those of you who are listening to this on your way to work. If you are new to Changing Room Thoughts, hi, I'm Karina, I'm your host, and Changing Room Thoughts is a fashion podcast that's focused on the intersection of fashion, economics, technology, sustainability, psychology, philosophy, whatever. Basically, if you've ever had a critical thought about the clothes that you put on your body, this podcast is for you. Today, I have another very special guest on my podcast. We've been really hitting it out of the park with guest speakers. You might cross Faith on the street and think to yourself, my goodness, what a beautiful and well-dressed girl. But dig a little deeper and you'll find that Faith Nathanie isn't just a pretty face. Her youth belies her maturity, experience, and entrepreneurial prowess. Years before she was known as @Faith Nathanie, the certified social media star sitting at 134,000 followers on Instagram, years before she started running her own creative services business, and right before moving halfway across the globe to live her dream of studying fashion at LIM in New York City, Faith was running her own sustainable fashion business from Perth, Australia, at the ripe age of 19. I myself had discovered Faye Studios in late 2021, much to Faith's surprise when I later ran into her in person at a fashion event with emcee Studios in New York. Now armed with a degree in fashion business from LIM, years of PR experience as both influencer and creative services entrepreneur, Faith is looking to relaunch Faye Studios, and today we're going to learn all about it. Please join me in welcoming the inimitable Faith Nathanie.
Thank you so much. That was so sweet. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's all true, so it's all facts. So,
oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here and I'm so excited to chat with you.
Last time we had a freezing coffee it was so cold,
oh my gosh,
in front of Italy, and I learned so much about the challenges of running a sustainable fashion business. And I think the world needs more ambitious people like you who are
like you as well.
Yes, people who are willing to stare the sustainability and fashion problem in the face and be like, yeah, we're going to solve this. We're going to make solutions and products that actually, make the world a better place. So thank you for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Honestly, I commend you so much for what you're doing. I literally, every time I listen to this podcast or any of your TikToks or just conversations in person, I feel like I learn so much about the fashion industry and trends and business and social media. So thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Aww, giving me the warm and fuzzy. Yeah. Okay, so since it's almost Lunar New Year, I have a little
Max Mara.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I went to the premium outlet mall and they were like, here, have some. So I have a little red envelope for you if you want to take a look at what's in it.
Thank you. Wow, okay, being away from home, I didn't think that I would be getting any red envelopes.
Well, you are younger than me, so I should be giving you some.
Oh my gosh, what is this? Okay, do I read it out?
Yes.
Okay, number 1, favorite Australian snack. That is such a hard one. First thing that came to mind is shapes. Do you know what those are?
Shapes? Like
they're like
a circle?
Little they're like little crackers. They're like little crackers.
We'll put up a picture here.
Yeah, put it up. The pizza flavor, the purple one. I have been craving those for a while. Yeah, no, it's so good. You need to try it. They're little biscuits.
They have different flavors?
They have different flavors and different shapes.
Wow, you're blowing my mind right now.
They're so good. Oh my gosh.
Shapes.
I wish we could get it here.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And dream designer you'd want to work with? Oh, I think Dior or YSL have always been my favorite brands. Just their silhouettes, their aesthetic. I'm obsessed. The new look from Dior. That's it for me.
Yeah. Such a classic.
Yeah. But also the Row. Ooh. Yeah. I love, Dior, YSL, and the Row, I feel, are my favorite.
Oh, she's got expensive taste.
I know. Oh my gosh. That's why we gotta be ambitious. Yeah. Something needs to fund this.
No, that is so for real. I identify with that thinking so much because I want nice things.
Yeah.
And if I have a shot at fuck you money, I want to at least give it a try,
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah.
As you should. Why wouldn't you? No, literally. Expensive taste. I want to travel. I want to do all these things. I'm like, girl, where are you getting that money from?
And you know what? I respect a sugar baby. When I see a sugar baby, I'm like, get that bag, girl. But I don't think I just don't think I would be a good one. I just don't think I could do it. So I feel my only option at a chance for that lifestyle is to
earn your own money.
Earn it. Yeah. Again, totally respect a sugar baby.
Oh, so do I.
You have my utmost respect.
I just get that bag. This is so cute.
Yeah. Thank you. I tried to be all smooth with it.
Love it.
Sorry if you were expecting money.
Oh my god, Rena, I need to buy the Dior. Like, that's so cute.
No, I would love to get to the point though where we're all further along in our careers and like, it's your birthday. Let me get you something nice.
Oh my god,
we're all
literally.
gifting each other like nice stuff. Like
us in 5
that's
years.
what I want to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a birthday, just a Tuesday. Like, here you go.
Facts. Facts. No. Thank you so much for telling us a little bit about yourself and your tastes and preferences.
Anytime.
I remember you were so shocked that I knew what Faye Studios was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was. That was crazy.
Why were you so shocked?
Because I think Perth, I'm from Perth, Australia, and Perth is a pretty small city. It's not Sydney or Melbourne. I started during COVID. I was just in my little Perth bubble, not realizing that it would have reached an international audience. And that's happened a few times in New York, to my utmost shock. So I think that's just insane that my little COVID baby actually reached people in New York. I was in my little Perth bubble thinking, probably reach a few people locally.
I think what's most impressive is beyond the fact that your brand that you started at such a young age reached such a large audience, but what really attracted me to Faith Studios was really clean, classic design, the commitment to sustainable values. That was really ambitious, and I was really inspired by that. I'm kind of curious where that inspiration or motivation to do that came from, because that's not an easy feat to say, I'm going to build a sustainable fashion brand from scratch.
After COVID started, I was stuck at home, so I went down this little rabbit hole of slow fashion and the effects of fast fashion and how it harms the environment, how people in sweatshops are getting paid basically nothing to create clothes that you probably wear like twice. I was watching documentaries, reading a few books about it, and just realized how much of an issue that is. At the same time, I also was very passionate about fashion and I really wanted to start a business.
Walk me through that. So what was day one? Day one was, I want to do this. I've decided I'm going to do this.
Yeah, so day one was actually, I was meant to move to New York after I got into fashion school, out of high school. I wanted to move to New York beginning of 2020. COVID happened, couldn't do that. So I was like, okay, I'll push it back a year. Hopefully, surely be gone by a year.
I think so. We all thought.
Yeah, you would think so. That's so funny. Yeah, so then I did the visa application, super long process, by the way. Register for classes, I'm about to pay for housing and everything. Last step was literally just my visa interview, and then I was going to book a flight to move to New York at the end of 2020. I think 2 weeks before that interview, I got an email saying, oh, your visa interview is canceled indefinitely because we are postponing all visa services, so no one can enter the US. I think it was that night I was like, okay, I'm gonna start my brand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was day one, because I was like, hey, if I'm gonna take this as a sign. If I'm stuck in Perth, I want to do something productive and actually use my time and have something to show for it. So day one, that was, okay, I'm gonna start this. So then I went on Pinterest, gathered some inspo, what I liked, what I wanted it to kind of look, started sketching. I'm also I can't draw. Like, I feel like so many people that start brands are so talented.
Yeah, they're fashion illustration.
No, no. That is not me at all. Oh my gosh, it looked not great. You feel like you can't draw. I think that was a big hurdle for me as well. I used to be like, I can't draw. I'm not good at art. Like, how am I gonna start a fashion label? You don't need to be able to draw. Just find inspo, literally draw as best as you can, and find reference photos that would kind of match up to specific. Obviously, don't copy an exact reference photo, but the silhouette of the skirt or the neckline, just kind of
take bits and pieces that
kind of work around that.
That's great advice.
Yeah, a little hack if you can't draw like me. After that, so that was decided I want to do that. Started kind of designing the pieces, what I wanted to launch with, and then I started making tech packs. This is all, by the way, all of this is from TikTok or YouTube. I'm trying to figure out the next step as I went.
Wow.
There's no play-by-play onto how to launch a fashion label, so I literally had to, okay, after I design, now what? What do I do next?
Wait, I fucking love that you were just, I can't go to the US? Fine. See what I come up with. That's the energy that I want. Why should anything stop you? After working in Silicon Valley and seeing the shit that people get funding for, there are some people out there who think that they are the king of this earth and deserve millions of dollars with nothing to show for it.
Or existing.
Nothing is stopping you from being Faith, and everything's on Google. Google is free. There are so many tutorials about how to pattern make, how to sew, how to, so wow, I respect that.
Yeah, I had never heard of a pattern before. I don't know what that was. Literally every single thing, it would come up. I would literally hear a word, minimum order quantity, and Google it. What is minimum order quantity? Or literally a pattern. Like, what does that mean? And how do I get one made?
Yeah.
So it was literally, maybe that's also a huge reason why it took 11 months. I feel like this time around.
Honestly, I think that's pretty fast.
I mean, thank you.
Yeah, to go from 0 to 100. Damn, what was I doing when I was 19? I'm pretty sure I was binging Attack on Titan or something like that. It was something stupid. But I really respect that you, from a young age, honestly, really invested in your interests like that. And like took a chance on yourself and put yourself out there. That takes a lot of bravery. And we talked about this a little bit before we started recording, but you have such an entrepreneurial spirit about you.
Thank you so much.
You've started so many different things, and you even mentioned the podcast.
I honestly just can't sit still. I'm always wanting to start a different project.
Yeah.
Forgetting that I'm also in uni, a full-time college student. And I'm like, hold on, I have classes and assignments and things to attend to. So yeah, for that reason, I'm very excited to graduate.
Yeah, but because of that spirit, because of that desire to start so many different things, that's how your social media popped off. That's how so many of these creative pursuits that have culminated into who you are have happened.
So the podcast, I was interviewing female entrepreneurs and creatives just to highlight what they're doing. I've always been so inspired by people starting their own thing or pursuing a creative path, just because it's usually a lot harder than the traditional route. And I have so much respect for people who actually pursue their passions.
I feel especially within kind of the New York young fashion community, everyone's kind of got something, doing a thing.
Yeah.
Your sustainable fashion brand, my podcast. I actually was just at Hotline earlier today, and I love that there's this community of young entrepreneurial people.
No, that's actually my favorite thing about New York, and a huge reason why I wanted to move here in the first place. Just the people here, I feel, really got to know what they want to do to make it in New York and to actually want to stay here, because it's a tough city. She's a tough city. We love New York, but it's a tough city to be in. Yeah. And I think you need to be so clear on why you want to be here and what you want to get out of it to justify how much you're paying for rent and how much you're paying for coffee. Yeah, but I love it because then just, again, coming from a small city, you don't really see a lot of people like that. So I love that about New York, that everyone is always doing something, usually 5 things at one time.
Yeah, no, 100%. I was doing my monthly finances and calculating how much money I make for my full-time job and my expenses and everything, and I'm like, oh shit, doing this content creation thing isn't really an option anymore. If I want to save any money, I'm oh damn, I gotta keep it up.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, honestly. New York,
speaking of doing a bunch of different things and also making the most out of your time in New York, knowing what you know now after being in New York for several years, after getting your degree in fashion business, how does that change your approach to Faye Studios now that you're gonna relaunch the brand?
Yeah, I'm coming from it from such a different perspective than when I was 19, fresh out of high school, didn't know anything about the fashion industry really, or the creative space or marketing or anything. I feel the biggest thing that I've learned is you learn so much from literally anyone you talk to, literally anyone on the internet, in real life, having an open mind and be willing to learn and like humbling yourself. I think I have definitely learned and experienced a lot more that would make things a lot more efficient.
Tell us a little bit more about that, because I'm sure a lot of the audience are people who are similarly either in school or are working a job not in fashion and don't have any fashion experience but have always dreamed about starting a brand or what they would do if they worked in fashion. What is it that you know now that you would change about how you would start like what would make it more efficient? Yeah.
I think the main things that I really struggled with when I was starting was fabrics and finding a manufacturer. Those two, I feel, were my biggest learning curves when starting. Fabrics, literally, I used to go to different stores and check the labels while feeling the fabrics. I'm like, oh, this is what like this feels like. Or I would go to like fabric stores and look at the different percentages of different fibers. So I think now I've definitely learned a lot more and done a lot more research into it. So that would save me a lot of time, because then that would less sampling with random fabrics that I just didn't know of. And then finding a manufacturer, I think now I have a clearer view on what I want to look out for in terms of their communication, lead times, the quality, exactly how to see a well-constructed garment and exactly what I'm looking for. I think a lot of it does also just come with experience and seeing what I like and what I don't like. But yeah, I think the experience as a whole, I'm so grateful that I have started before. So now I know just what to look out for, basically.
Are there any red flags that people should look out for when they're looking for a manufacturer?
I think the main thing is their communication, just how well you guys communicate. Finding a manufacturer is the backbone of your company, because that's like your products, that's the quality, how fast you can produce everything. Yeah, so I think communication definitely the number one thing, because if you can't even communicate well when you're first starting with them, how is it going to look for the rest of your business? And also you like don't want to have to switch once you're like, you know, because it's a lot. You're investing a lot of time and a lot of money to the manufacturer.
And then the product becomes inconsistent.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like a lot of brands struggle with that. I think a lot, like people would comment on social media and say, oh, this brand's quality's dropped or stuff like that. So yeah, I think finding a good manufacturer is, I would say, the most important thing.
Especially when you're a sustainably focused brand, I feel that's especially challenging because I think a lot of manufacturers are used to the fast fashion model, used to fast fashion quantities. So finding a manufacturer that's in alignment with that, that's not going to completely charge you out the ass is a huge pain point.
Yeah, which honestly is such a big thing that you have to come to terms with, because I was basically emailing a bunch of manufacturers from a lot of different places. So I emailed some in Indonesia, which is where I'm originally from, Vietnam, and trying to find specifically ethical manufacturers from those places. And it just didn't work out because just the quality wasn't really translating. So I ended up going with a manufacturer from Perth. She was just this lady who was working out of her house, and she was a 20-minute drive for me. So I would just drive to her house to pick up the samples. I was trying them on myself. It was really fun.
That's the best though.
Yeah, no, because you can really, really tell that she cares about the quality.
And also empowering local communities.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I did the same thing for my Appa bucket hats.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It was a family friend who was this 70-year-old Chinese lady who used to be a production line seamstress in China.
Oh my God, that's sick.
But then moved to the US and then created her own dry cleaning and alterations business. But similarly, in the middle of COVID, right? No one's getting their clothes dry cleaned.
Yeah.
So I was like, girl, how much do you want to be paid per hat? She was like, $15. You got it. I'm not even going to try and haggle with, you're 70, ma'am.
Oh my God, yeah.
However much you want to charge, I will pay you.
15's good.
Yeah, 15's good. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But period, I do think that is such an underrated source of labor, and I think a lot of people, when they think about starting a fashion brand, don't even consider it as a choice, because like your first thought is find a manufacturer, but it's so hard for so many reasons. Meeting a minimum order quantity, no especially emerging sustainable fashion brand is really going to be able to do that.
No, for sure. The MRQ was definitely a big hurdle, because little hack, if you're looking for manufacturers, usually they would have the MRQ in their Q&A section, which is something that I've learned and saved me a lot of time, because I used to just email them asking for a bunch of things, including the MRQ, but I feel that's the biggest thing that would kind of weed out what I can afford and what I can't, because if their MRQ's a few thousand, there's no way. I was 19, like I wanted to manufacture a few thousand pieces.
Yeah. And from a financial sustainability perspective too, if you're a brand that's just starting out and you take investment money, that means you're beholden to somebody else's vision and somebody else's pressure to be profitable from the get-go, which is also not very sustainable in the long term. Any other tips or advice you have for people looking to start their own brands?
Honestly, the biggest thing I would say is just, if this is what you want to do, just back yourself and believe in yourself. There'll be a lot of hurdles. It was a fun time though. I was learning so much. It was just so much fun trying to, okay, what do I need to learn about next? And then just trying it, because why not?
Yeah. I love that the goal isn't about accomplishment, but to have fun learning how to do something. That's a really great takeaway, because when you're an entrepreneurial person and you're fixated on the outcome, you can become so easily discouraged. But when you're focused on just, wow, it must be so fun to learn how to build a fashion brand, like it becomes such a pleasurable experience no matter what happens.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's so important to remember as well, because it's not an easy journey to start something for yourself and to continuously do it. So I think really having fun with it and finding the joy in doing it, that's what's going to keep you going. And literally the reason why you wouldn't give up.
So I also want to talk a bit about some of your experience, not just learning fashion business and fashion management and all of these awesome tips that you gave about manufacturing and production, which people definitely need. But something people also struggle with when they start a brand is effective marketing. And I feel like by this point, you're like a master at like fashion marketing. Because like you take one look at her page and it's clearly like, you know, branded very well, very luxurious, very clear, like the brands that you've worked with and all of that. And I feel like you've gained so much experience, like talking to all of these different marketing managers at different brands. What have you taken away from that experience that you would want to apply to Faye Studios?
Yeah, thank you so much. That was really sweet. Yeah, I love fashion marketing. Well, that's my major. And I think anytime I see anything on social media about, oh, this brand, this campaign, and just interesting and really clever marketing ideas, I love that. I would go on a whole rabbit hole down that. Biggest takeaways, I think just having a really consistent and clear brand is everything to a business. Just being so clear on your brand identity and being able to be consistent with that, I think is literally the formula, but also a lot easier said than done.
Being a fashion marketing major, are there any campaigns that really stick out to you and things like that? Ones that are kind of on your mind?
I think Rode does a really, really good job at being consistent with their marketing. I think since Rode launched, I've always been very fascinated on their branding.
RHODE, right?
Yes, Hailey Bieber's beauty brand. Every single one of their campaigns, I'm just, wow, genius. That looks so good. And she's just marketing a lip gloss. It's crazy that she's so committed to each campaign and each drop when it's literally just a lip gloss that she's dropping. It's crazy. They would go into this whole eras even. It actually reminds you of kind of how music artists have different eras when they're dropping a new album. I think Ariana Grande does that. Where she
build a whole
herself.
world around Renaissance for Beyonce.
Yeah, exactly. I think that kind of reminds me of that because she's just having different eras and color schemes and
What's the current era?
I think they're launching their passion fruit, what's it called, cleanser? Yeah, so everything's yellow and it's so clever, honestly. I think brands that really stand out to me because they're dropping different products and doing so many different themes of campaigns but still have a very strong brand identity.
That's very interesting. It's almost like different collections from a fashion point of view. There's still seasonality to it and a sense of newness, but you can be assured that every time you buy a product, it's that like lip gloss, lip balm that you know to love. Yeah, I think, for sure. Honestly, I think about Kylie Jenner too and her makeup line. She does that a lot too. It's her birthday drop. This time it's 24 karat gold theme. Oh my God. This time it's Christmas theme. This time it's blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
But I literally just watched a TikTok this morning about that and how her branding is inconsistent, comparing it to Rode. Yeah, which is why that was off the top of my head. Because she's been using different fonts and they all feel different sub-brands from Kylie Cosmetics. Right. Which I think is really interesting. Because I think even changing the font would make a huge difference on how the brand feels. It would feel a completely different brand.
When I think of fashion marketing, I think it's not necessarily explicit, but I think Miu Miu's marketing has had a chokehold on me. Oh, you know the shoes I'm talking about, right? Oh, yeah. The ones with the 3 straps on the side. Why does every fashion girl know exactly what pair of shoes I'm talking about, right?
Like, when you say Miu
Miu, no, their marketing is so... That brand is... I think very recently too has been super clear and consistent. Well, I'm a Mucha Prada fangirl, but I think their focus on this quirky, cute, office dorky, it's just got a chokehold on the girls.
Good. Did you see that ranking of what fashion brands think they are versus what the consumer views them as?
No, this is
Miu Miu's number 1.
They think that they're number 1 and they are number 1?
No, they think what you just said is what Miu Miu thinks that their brand is giving off. And it's also what the customers think they're giving off.
Oh, so there's really good alignment there.
Yeah. The alignment.
Interesting. Where is this?
I think it was Business of Fashion, if I'm not wrong.
Interesting.
Yeah, they had the whole graph and ranking system of what the brand thinks they're portraying versus what the consumers are actually viewing it as.
Wait, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put it up here somewhere. somewhere
Yeah.
once I find it.
I'll find
is
the
so
graph
cool.
and send it to you.
Wait, I love that we're getting into the nerdy side of fashion
God,
marketing
same.
because that's the kind of space I want to curate on this podcast. Like, this is for the fashion nerds. All of this is the same kind of nitty-gritty of marketing. Figuring out the nuts and bolts of how these luxury brands, beauty or fashion, are trying to sell you something is so fascinating because they're trying to quantify something that is so unquantifiable. They're trying to sell you something that is so hard to price, which is the promise of beauty and feeling. And it's so untangible. To your point about having a really strong and consistent brand identity being everything, that's the secret sauce. Because
for sure.
if you just wanted a t-shirt and go to Uniqlo,
Oh, yeah, literally.
yeah, like you could thrift that.
Great product. Yeah, literally. Or
But
thrifting
why
it.
are you coming here? Why are you gonna come to Miu Miu Road or Faye Studios, right? Speaking of which, I am kind of curious what your thoughts are on branding for Faye Studios. It doesn't have to be super concrete, but what's on your mind for it?
I think I've realized the main thing that a brand needs to think about is their target audience. I think that's so important to be so clear on who exactly you're marketing for, and everything else will kind of follow. Aesthetic, the colors, everything else will kind of follow when you have a clear vision of the girl that you want to wear your clothes. For Faith Studios specifically, also I'm gonna change the name. I'm gonna rebrand it to Nathanie actually.
Okay.
I think it sounds more a high-end designer brand almost more than Faith Studios, and I think it just aligns better with the brand that I want to create. So little teaser there.
Oh, exciting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be rebranded to Nathanie, which is also my middle name. When I think of the Nathanie girl, I guess she's ambitious, she's well-traveled, she has a very clear sense of style, and she loves that minimalist aesthetic and really just focuses on high quality pieces. The main thing that I want to create is elevated basics. So elevated pieces that you can wear over and over, leading into that slow fashion kind of movement, not just a super flashy kind of piece that you wear once and you're gonna know if you wear it all the time. So something a bit more subtle and staples in your closet, but just has a bit of an elevated moment about it, that every time you wear that piece I'm like, oh, that's a really cool dress or a really cool top. So things that she can pack on vacation, and she knows it's gonna look good, it's gonna fit well, she's gonna feel empowered and confident in it, but you can also style it a bunch of different ways.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. I can't wait to see not only the garments but the marketing. Now Faith at 19 versus Faith now is a world of difference. You were impressive then, but now you have connections through doing influencing, through fashion school, through all of this. So I'm really excited to see this roll out. And
thank you so
the different,
much.
like, of course, all of the different people on social media that I follow, rocking it and styling it and all of the content. I just know it's going to deliver.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Honestly, I'm just big plans, but I'm really, really excited for it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. When I also see you and I know you and your aesthetic and your creations, I can so clearly envision that girl. Are there any other people across social media, maybe celebrities, maybe whatever, that you kind of can imagine wearing?
I think this influencer that I love, her name's Hannah Schonberg. I don't know if I'm completely butchering her name. I could probably put a photo or something. I love her style. I think that'd be really cool. A lot of European influencers, actually. I think it's very Euro summer, just trips around Europe. I think I've really found a love of travel and just exploring different cities. So I'd love the girls who wear Nathanie to bring that on their travels, and I think that'd be really cool to see the pieces all around the globe. Kelsey Merritt as well, she's a Victoria's Secret model, also really cool, love her style.
We're manifesting this. Speaking of manifesting, what are you manifesting for yourself and for your brand in this upcoming year?
I think this year is just very uncertain for me because I'm graduating. I don't know what I'm gonna do post-grad, but at the same, I've been feeling very, let me think of how to phrase this. I think it can be a very scary feeling, but also very exciting because I have no idea where I'm gonna end up a year from now. Absolutely no idea. Don't even know which city I'm gonna be in. Am I still gonna be in New York? Am I gonna be somewhere else? So I think just being very open to all the experiences. I'd love to travel a lot more, maybe even for a few months and stay for a bit longer in different cities.
Yeah.
Probably around Europe or elsewhere. And yeah, relaunching the brand. So many exciting plans and things about that. Yeah, I think I'm just really, really excited for 20 because of all the uncertainties. I'm trying to embrace it. I'm like,
no,
it's so scary, but I'm trying to embrace it. And yeah, just keep an open mind because you really never know where life's going to take you. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I love that. Can I ask, when it comes to location, being in which city, or do you envision yourself going back to Perth to start Nathanie, or do you not really care where you end up relaunching?
I probably won't go back to Perth. As much as I love Perth, it's honestly so beautiful and it's a lot slower, it's chill. My family's there, all my friends are there, but I probably won't go back to relaunch it. Honestly, I have no idea. Being completely honest, I have no idea. I think the main thing that I would need to figure out is inventory if I did want to start it elsewhere. Because if I did want to travel, that's why I have no idea where I'm going to end up, because I do want to travel, but I also want to start a business, which I could run and start from anywhere in the world.
Right. But once you get the inventory,
yeah, because it's a product-based business, I would need either a warehouse that can fulfill orders for me or, store inventory somewhere. That I still need to figure out. But yeah.
If you have any suggestions, hit us up.
Oh, please. I am open to any suggestions. But yeah, honestly, circling back to just the excitement, honestly, I have a really, really good feeling about this year. I'm really excited. Just trusting God and seeing where he takes me, kind of thing. Yeah. So we'll see where we end up.
I'm looking forward to checking back in at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
So what's going on with Faye?
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that coffee date.
Yeah, I'm excited for her to be like, so I moved to Berlin and like I
started 3 businesses since then.
I started Nathanie and another podcast and also a lip gloss company.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, would not put it past me.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about your journey, giving our viewers amazing tips on how to build your own fashion brand and business, and for being here in the studio with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. This is honestly so fun. Again, I love all of our chats and conversations. I feel it always gets so exciting. Do you remember us taking the train home from that? Oh my gosh, from that event, the event that we first met, and we were just talking about brands, literally analytics, all that kind of stuff, which I love. So it's always so much fun.
Same. I also love the intersection between like fashion and the nerdy stuff, because I think oftentimes people think of fashion as this unreachable artsy thing, but it is creative, and there's also an infrastructure.
Yeah.
And there's also a supply chain, and we need people who are thinking about that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think that's super important. And I think that's why fashion is such an interesting industry to me, because there are so many different aspects to it and so many different roles and so many different people working in so many areas of the industry. There's the creative director and the head of marketing,
the buyer, the pattern maker.
Oh yeah.
I read some statistic which was it's estimated that 1 in 8 people actually work in the fashion industry. When you take into account the fact that apparel manufacturing is part of this, and most apparel manufacturing centers are in Asia, where there are massive populations.
Oh yeah.
But people here, when you say you work in fashion, they think, oh, so you're a rich Upper East Sider who that is such a minority of what the fashion industry actually is.
No, yeah, completely. I think when you think of someone working in fashion, it's always, oh, you're at a magazine or you're a designer.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very surface level kind of perceptions, I guess. When there's actually so much that goes into the industry.
Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This was so fun.
Oh, if you don't already follow Faith, be sure to check out her Instagram and stay tuned for updates on the relaunch of Nathanie.
Thank you.
Yeah, with that, we'll see you next Monday. Bye.
Bye.